Assalamu alaikum everybody, this is the original Scaryammi and today we have a fantastic guest. She's a student, she's an achiever. She comes from like a remote area of Pakistan, which makes her story even more fantastic because coming from DG Khan, she's explored opportunities like the Yes Exchange alumni and so much more. So I'm so delighted to have with me Areeba Suleman.
Hello, Ayesha. Thank you so much for that introduction.
Of course, Areeba. So Areeba, tell me, you were born in DG Khan?
Yes, I was born and raised in Dera, Ghazi Khan.
How was that? Is it like as remote as we believe it to be?
No. It's not as remote as that. I think Dera, Ghazi Khan is the perfect place for a child to grow up because I sort of, when we say it takes a village to raise a child, Dera, Ghazi Khan is that village. I grew up, was surrounded by so many people and being raised by them, and I grew up literally in front of them and they all knew me so well, and I went to the same school for 12 years. So it's just I saw my own teachers grow older and they saw me grow older, so it was amazing. I loved my childhood back in Dera, Ghazi Khan.
What was it like? Tell me, like what was an average day in your childhood like?
So we would get up at like 6, my mother would get us ready, and then we'd go to school.
Would your mom cook breakfast?
Yes, but we never took lunch with us because I loved the Ganda canteen wala khana.
So which school did you go to?
I went to Divisional Public School in college, Dera, Ghazi Khan.
Was that a good school?
It was an amazing school. It was a huge school.
But what about teachers? They were good?
Yes, I mean they loved me.
No, but like did they teach you well?
Yes, they did. Because it was such a huge school, we would have like 40 kids in our class. And with that, we had like 6 sections per class. And there were different blocks as well. And you would get promoted from one block to another as you progress through the years. So it was a system of its own. And I think I really enjoyed it. There was a lot of rivalry. It was amazing. I loved my childhood. And I don't think it would have been the same if it weren't for DPS Dera, Ghazi Khan, because it's a huge school. Like we have huge playgrounds, we have a very big.
Does everybody from the school speak English as fluently as you do?
Yes.
Really?
Yes, I would say so. Yes.
So that's fantastic. And you did your O levels from there.
Yes,
and
I did
what
my
did you
O-levels.
get in O levels?
I got 12 A stars and A's. And
that's fantastic. And is that like
thank you very
a
much.
good result at Dera, Ghazi Khan, or exceptional or average? Like were there many others who got such results?
I think most of the students from Dera, Ghazi Khan get really good grades because I think the culture over there is like you have to get your kid to work hard and get good grades. So I think a lot of kids get really good grades. I was the valedictorian of my class, and I think kids do get really good grades. Yes, they're very hardworking kids.
Great. So then after your O levels, what prompted you to? No, in fact, let's rewind. During your O levels, how did you get to do the Yes alumni?
So basically, I went to my relative's house, and she was talking about how.
Where does your relative live?
Dera, Ghazi Khan.
Oh,
It was in
okay.
Dera, Ghazi Khan. Everything is from Dera, Ghazi Khan. So basically, I went to my relative's house with my mother, and the relative was talking about how her nephew basically got into this really good university in the US, and my mother was really impressed. So I was like, I need to impress my mother as well. So that night, I sat up looking up stuff on my tablet, and I looked up the US Embassy, their website, and I saw the Yes program, and I was like, hey, this is actually applicable to me and I'm eligible. But at that time the applications weren't open, so I waited and I checked the website every single day until the
Wow. How did you find out about the Yes program? Just a random Google search?
yes, just that random Google search, just that hope to just make my mother be impressed.
Wow, by making it to the US.
Yes.
So Areeba, you found out about the Yes program literally through a random Google search.
Yes, sort of, yes. Well, not through that, I would say it was just, that dream to make my mother proud. So that eventually led to that Google search, which eventually led to the Yes program.
Oh. So you wanted to make your mother proud by landing up at a US university.
No, I mean, at that time, obviously, I was still in O-level, so I couldn't do that. Couldn't just jump into university. But like just, that feeling of knowing that my mother is proud that, I made it out of Dera Ghazi Khan, sort of, yeah.
So then you applied for tell us about the YES program. What inspired you to apply for it?
Other than the fact that I wanted to make my mother proud, it was also the fact that, I wanted to come out of that bubble, the Dera Ghazi Khan bubble that I had lived in all my life. Like, I had never even been to Islamabad before. The only place, the other city that I had ever been to before the YES program was Multan, which is like 2 hours away.
Really?
Yeah.
That's the only city you'd spent your entire life living in Dera Ghazi Khan, and then you went to Multan, and that's it.
Yes. So,
wow. And then the flight you had to take was to the US.
Yes, exactly.
Insane, Areeba.
Yeah, I mean,
Where did you get the guts to even apply to the YES program? It was like this big wide world that you had no idea of.
sometimes you just have to, it's just a leap of faith.
Was it scary? Applying?
Applying wasn't scary.
Because you thought
It
you
was a
wouldn't
lot
get
of
in?
work.
Okay.
It was a lot of work. Like, the paperwork was crazy, and my parents were like, if you want to do this, do it yourself.
Like how much paperwork was there?
So the initial application had like 30 pages of stuff.
Like essays or what?
There were essays, there were, they asked about my extracurriculars, they asked about my interests. There was this one essay where I had to write a letter to my host family, which, by the way, was the reason as to why I got picked by my host family, because I had written as a fun fact that I love peas, and my host family was like, your essay was very odd, and we really like
I
it.
love peace.
Yeah, I love peas, not peace.
Oh, peas, like mutter.
Yes, exactly. Yes,
That's
I
what you
love
wrote in your letter, and your host family was like, she's weird, we want her.
Yeah, exactly. Because she was like, all other kids were talking about how they love, helping their parents with housework, and we were like, no, you don't, you're lying. But then they read mine and they were like, you seem genuine, you seem like, an odd kid. And I was like, yes, that's exactly what I am.
Wow, that's fantastic. So when you were applying for the YES program and you were filling out the 30 pages, did you think you'd get in?
That's a very good question. I'm not sure.
Or
I
were
think-
you just up? This was the first major application you filled out?
Yes, that was the first application I ever
So
filled out.
what did you think? Were you optimistic, realistic? Were you like, I'm just doing it?
So I put in a lot of work because it was my first application. I did a lot of work. I did a lot of research, looked up a lot of stuff online. So I knew that I had done my homework. So sort of because of that, I was sort of optimistic, but then again, I was like, they only take like 40 kids from all over Pakistan. So if I get in, I get in. If I don't, it's fine. It's very competitive. If I get in,
So
great.
you didn't have, like, were there a lot of girls from Dera Ghazi Khan applying?
No, I think I was the only one.
Because not a lot of people would even know about it in
Yeah,
Dera
exactly.
Ghazi Khan.
Yes. Because then again,
Did you
I
tell
did
your
not-
parents what you were applying for?
yes, I did, because the application, you had to submit it by mail. You couldn't submit it online.
Oh.
So obviously I had to ask my parents for that. But they didn't really take it seriously. At that point, they were like, okay.
She's not going to get in, so.
Yeah. I mean, they didn't really understand. I don't think I explained it to them what it really was. I was just like, this is something that I need to do. They were like, cool, do it.
Wow.
And then after that, I got called in for an online interview. And my
Okay.
dad was the one that got the call. And that's when he was like, okay, what are you doing exactly?
So your dad got a call that your daughter needs to come for an online interview.
Yeah, exactly. I did that online interview. I remember I skipped school that day, and I never skipped school because I loved DPS a lot. I never skipped school, but the next day when I did go to school, people were like, Areeba, why did you break your streak of...
Never missing school in 12 years.
Yeah, exactly. So I did that, and the interview went well, I think. And then after that, I think it was after 5 days of my interview that my dad got another call. And this one seemed pretty serious because they were like, you need to bring your kid to Islamabad for the in-person interview and the group sessions and the written essays over there, the tests and everything. And my dad was like, okay, guess what are we doing again?
And then what did you say?
And I explained it to him.
And they were okay with the idea of you going to the US for 6 months?
Yeah, my dad was okay with it.
Is that like an average dad in DG Khan who's okay with sending his 15-year-old daughter off to the US?
I don't think so. But my mother, on the other hand, she was not that happy about it. So what she did was she called up my Nani Amma, and the second my Nani Amma heard the word Areeba combined with America and going, she started crying. She was like, no, you're not gonna send her to the US. She's only 15 years old. How are you gonna do that? And it was after my dad convincing my mother and my mother telling my Nani Amma it's gonna be all right, that it all worked out. I think after that we had a lot of vaccination stuff done and like all that doctors.
No, your Nani Amma was okay when your dad spoke to her?
No, she was not. She was not okay. But like, she couldn't really do anything about it, could she?
Well, your mom was okay?
Yeah, my mom was eventually okay with it.
Is that an average mom in DG Khan who would send a 15-year-old off to the US?
No, not really.
So you have unusual parents.
I do actually. I
How
do.
come? What makes them unusual? Like your mom's a housewife, I'm guessing.
Yes, she's a homemaker. I think it's my dad my dad has been a very passionate person as long as I can remember. He loves just doing random stuff, like odd stuff, and he loves talking about that stuff. So I think, in a way, he wanted to talk about it to his friends as well and like brag about it. Oh, my daughter's in the U.S. and she's 15. Yeah, so it's that. I think it stems from that. Yeah.
Cool. So then what happened? So then you went for your in-person interview to Islamabad, and then what happened?
Yeah, I went to Islamabad for the first time. So the farthest that I had ever been from Dera Ghazi Khan was Multan or Bahawalpur. I have been to Bahawalpur.
Which is like 2 hours away.
Bahawalpur is like 3 hours away from Dera Ghazi Khan. So yeah, Islamabad, it was crazy. It was a huge city, huge roads, all that stuff that you see.
And you'd never seen that before.
Yeah, I'd never seen that in real life. I mean, I was addicted to the internet. Yes, I had seen all of that on my phone, but never in real life. So it was a crazy experience. And I remember we got there at like 6 a.m. in the morning, and I was supposed to report there at around 8 a.m. So I didn't sleep all night. The second
You guys drove?
Yes.
So you reached there at 6 a.m. So weren't you sleeping in the car?
I didn't. I couldn't.
You were too excited?
Yeah, I think it's just a thing. I just cannot sleep while I'm traveling, I think.
So you reach at 6 a.m. and you had to report at 8 a.m.
Yes, and I did. And I was heavily.
Where did you change your clothes, shower?
So we went to a relative's house for that. Yes.
Okay.
So after that, I went there, and there were so many kids over there from all over Pakistan. None from Dera Ghazi Khan, not even Multan. So I couldn't find anyone from South Punjab actually. So that was amazing in its own way because
how many kids were there?
Around I think 100 at least.
Oh, and out of them 40 are selected.
No, so they call kids in batches. So in my batch there were like 100 kids, and then they had like other days as well. So I think they had like at least 6 to 7 days where more kids came in as well. Because I remember that when I applied, I think around 4,000 kids had applied as well.
4,000?
Yes.
And out of 4,000, 40 kids get in?
Yes.
So to those of us who don't know anything about the YES program, can you tell us a little bit?
Yes, so basically the YES program, the Kennedy Leaver Youth Exchange and Study Program.
What is it called? Sorry,
the Kennedy Leaver Youth Exchange and Study Program.
Okay.
I think it's currently, the funding is on pause right now.
So it's not happening?
Not right now.
Oh, thank you, Trump.
Yeah, thank you, Trump.
Yeah, you've done such a great job.
Yeah, so it's this fully funded youth exchange program where, it's through the U.S. Department of State. They send you off to live with an American host family, live as an American teenager, you go to an American high school, and then you also represent Pakistan, I mean your country, not just Pakistan, because there are other countries as well. Yeah, it's an amazing program. It's a life-changing program, I would say. Yeah.
So tell me, how did you find out that you've been selected? Like, what's the process?
Yes. So after my interview, in-person interview, group session, the test, and everything, I came back to Dera, and I think it was after a month that I was called in again, which was
To Islamabad?
Yes, I was called in again. My dad was not happy.
A month later. Your dad's like, I keep getting these calls.
Yeah, exactly. And like you have to drive like 8 to 9 hours.
Okay, so you were asked to come back to Islamabad?
Yes.
And then?
And then I did.
And what did they do this time?
So this time we had our English test. I don't remember the name.
That was again like 100 kids?
No, much less. Much less.
Like 40, 50?
Yeah, but then again, like we were called in batches, so not all of them were called in the same day.
And you had to sit and talk to somebody in English?
No, there was an online test. I think there was also a listening test as well. So we did that, and then with that we also worked on our paperwork. There was a lot of paperwork. Oh my God.
Like visa work?
No, not visa yet, but like all that information that they needed.
Again?
No,
Because you'd already submitted the application.
Yes, I had submitted, but then when they actually start shortlisting the candidate, they ask you for more details, so like all that stuff. And I did that, and then after that, they ghosted me for like 3 months.
So you thought that you're not selected?
Yeah, I thought.
And your
that.
dad must have been like, why did we go to Islamabad twice?
Yeah, exactly.
But chalo, adventure. And you
Yeah.
thought that you were like out of the running. You'd forgotten about it.
Yeah, I had not actually. I would actually check my email every single day.
Oh, but you did start feeling it's not happening.
Yes.
And then?
I mean, I was also talking to other kids, and they hadn't gotten any email, so I was like, okay, if we're all doomed. It's not just me, right?
Nobody is going to, yes.
Yes, nobody's going. But then one day, my dad did get a call.
Again? So your dad keeps getting these calls. Okay, so what happened on this one call?
And on this call, they just told my dad, congratulations, your kid Areeba has been selected. Do not tell this to anyone. Of course, he told everyone.
And did they say, come back to Islamabad for a...
Yes, they did actually. They called me in.
Again?
Yes, but this time for an orientation. So there was.
And the visa?
That was like.
Another trip?
Yes, that was.
Was your dad like, what is going on?
I mean, at that point, my dad knew that it was all worth it now, so like he was okay with it. Yeah.
So then they called you in for an orientation. What happens in the orientation?
Yeah, so we had an orientation, a mini workshop thing where they trained us. And then with that, the next day we had the parents' orientation, and that orientation really did, wonders for my parents, and not just for my parents, I'm pretty sure for the other kids as well.
Why?
Because like, they went over everything, and they were very transparent about the logistics of it and everything. And as a parent, I think you need that reassurance. You need to know exactly everything, because like you're sending your child to another continent across the ocean,
Yeah.
right? So they did an incredible job explaining all of that logistical stuff to the parents and answering all of their questions. And my dad, my parents, my mother, my naniyama even, after my mother told her everything, even she was really satisfied with everything. And
Like the safety?
Yes.
So, okay. And which state were you going to?
So, interestingly, I had no idea. उस टाइम तक मुझे कुछ नहीं पता था.
Not even at the orientation?
No, because of the COVID-19 virus, a lot of host families weren't hosting. So because of that, there weren't a lot of host families and placements weren't being
Yeah.
made. So we didn't know. But what happened was, so I was in C1. All right.
So let's go back to my question of, did you know which state you're going to?
No, I had no idea because I didn't have a placement at that time. So placements are basically your host families, where you're going, all that information. I didn't have a placement. And then
Did you get to like choose that, oh, I want to go to New York? Or?
No, we didn't have a choice. That's because obviously host families, they're limited. There are not a lot of host families out there. So if you get one, you're privileged. So if you get one, you need to go.
And if you don't get one, you don't go.
So what they do is, so if you don't get a host family, then they basically defer you to the next year, and then hopefully you get another placement. That's what happened to me actually.
Really?
Yeah,
what happened to you?
I didn't get a placement the first year.
Because there was no host family?
Yes.
That's sad. So
Yeah.
you did all this effort.
Yes, but
You
it
did all
actually
those
worked out.
trips to Islamabad.
Yes. Yes.
Okay, and then?
And so what happened is, so about 60 to 70% of the kids did get placements. The other remaining 30-40% they didn't.
Really,
I was one
that
of them.
big a number doesn't get placements?
Yes. I mean, at that time. Now I'm not sure.
Well, now there is no yes for the time being.
I mean, right now there is a batch in the US, but like for the upcoming year of 2026 to 2027, we don't because of the funding pause.
Thanks, Trump. Okay, so then the first year you got deferred. Was that disappointing?
It was at first, but then I realized, so at my school at DPS, Dera, what we do is we do our O-levels from 8, 9, 10th. So those three grades. So I was in 9th at that time, which meant that I was also going to be eligible for the next year. So I was like, okay, maybe this is a blessing in disguise. And it truly was, because I was able to complete my O-levels and then go. So,
okay.
yeah, so I spent the best year of my life in Dera as a 10th grader, as the head girl of my school. It was amazing. You know.
You were head girl and all that. Oh, and then you went.
And then eventually after, and then
So you went when you were done with DPS?
Yes, I did my O-levels, and then I went.
And then you went for 6 months, and then you came back?
No, I went for 10 months.
Oh, so then you came back and joined in A1?
I didn't join DPS Dera.
No, when you came back and you then joined A level, so you
Yes.
basically, that was like a gap year?
I mean, I don't think it would count as a gap year because at my school we complete our O-levels in
A year
10th.
earlier?
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
So it didn't really.
But like if you hadn't done yes, you would have been done with your A levels by now?
Yes.
Okay. Oh, that's
I would
interesting.
be in my last year of A-levels right now.
Yeah.
I'm in A1 right now.
Right, okay, fantastic. Okay, so tell me, this program, when you like found out the next year that you were going, where was your host family based?
So I got the email on a
This time, no phone call.
No, I got it. I got the email first and then I got the phone call. So I got the email on a random Wednesday that I had been placed in New York.
Oh, New
Yeah.
York!
I know.
Which part of New York?
Upstate.
Okay, great.
Yeah. I got that and it was actually, so the email went to my dad and it also came to me and my dad forwarded it to me and I was like, wait, what? And I had all these messages from my brother as well and he was like, oh, you got a placement. And I was like, what? Because like I had just woken up and I looked at it and cool, I had been placed. And it was an amazing feeling. It was like I had waited for that moment for so long and on a random Wednesday, it was here. And I was placed in New York, which meant that I was going to the US. And that was in February, and I was supposed to go in August. So I had all that time to just anticipate and think about what I'm gonna do in the US. And I think, honestly speaking, I think it was great that I didn't get a placement the first year because I got done with my O-levels.
You got to be head girl.
I got to be head
You got
girl.
to graduate from DPS. So it
Yes.
was like great.
It was amazing.
I agree. So then when you went to the US, how was it? Your first flight ever?
Yeah, it was.
Entering like the Big Apple, like tell us.
Yes, so I had my first flight from here to Doha and from Doha to Washington DC. And then in Washington DC we had an orientation, which was really, really cool as well. And then after the orientation, that was when we all said our goodbyes. And I was off to on a tiny plane. I went to Albany, New York. I didn't go to New York City. I went to Albany, which is the capital of New York State. And that's where I landed. It was a tiny plane because, you know, the plane that they use to go over the ocean, that's like huge. So because it was my first time being in a plane, I assumed that all planes were gonna be really, really big. And then the next day I'm in a really tiny plane. So that was absurd to me. But cool, I landed in Albany, and that was actually when it actually hit me that, okay, no Pakistan here.
Wow, and like, was your host family there to receive you?
Yes, they were right there.
And was that like, and they're white?
Yes.
Was that like, were you like, okay, I'm gonna live with these people for 10 months?
Yeah.
Is that insane? Like, did you suddenly be like, oh my God, what have I done?
No, I mean, I had a lot of time to just think about it. I think I was ready. I was ready. But like, because I was so tired, I had not slept at all. You know, I was very tired. I had brain fog, and I remember that the first thing that we did with my host family was that we went to Walmart.
Oh.
And Walmart, you know, is
massive.
It's massive, and we're talking about a sleep-deprived Areeba with a lot of brain fog in a Walmart for the first time with a lot of white light. That was not the best thing ever.
Yeah. Why did you go to Walmart, to pick up groceries?
I think yes. I think that's what we were doing. It wasn't Walmart. It was something else, but like it was huge. It was
Walgreens?
It was Market 36. That's like a grocery store in New York State.
So this host family, did they have children your age?
Yes. So my host sister was a year older than me, is a year older than me. My host brother is 2 years younger than me, and then there was the other one who was like 9 years old. So yeah, there was, I had a lot of siblings.
Three. Okay, so then how was the settling in, like going to school in New York, like being amongst a different kind of family, eating different foods, like how was it all like?
It was amazing. It was
Was it initially hard, or was it amazing from day one?
It was initially very hard. So the first thing that I remember noticing was the smell. And this is something that I bring up a lot. And I have talked to a lot of people about this, but no one can relate to this. But the second I walked into a grocery store in the US, I smelled this certain weird smell. I don't know how to describe it, but it was there. And I remember noticing that. And I remember asking my host parents that, and they were like, Areeba, what are you talking about?
What was the smell?
I don't know. I don't know. I don't know how to describe it. It was something that made me sick.
Was it like very sterile and septic?
Yes, I didn't like that. But eventually, it didn't affect me. I cannot notice it now at all. So it went away. I got used to it. But other than that, the food, that was a struggle.
Well, what was the kind of food that they would eat, your host family?
You know, just the American kind of food. Like, I love mac and cheese, but like,
so much mac and cheese is not great.
Yeah.
So were you like craving dal chawal and mutton karai?
Not really, because like even back in Dera, I didn't really eat all that stuff. I just really like spicy food. I just really like red chili flakes, right? And my host parents didn't realize that. So what they did is they just bought like huge tubs of red chili flakes, and like they would put it in front of me whenever we were eating, and they'd be like, okay, help yourself.
Oh, so whatever they were, like if the menu was mac and cheese, you do mac and cheese with red chili flakes.
Yes.
If the menu was like
ketchup as well. Sometimes. I got called out for that a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
And how was the school there?
It was huge. So I went there in August, and the school was supposed to start in September. So you know, I had a lot of free time before the school started.
So what did you do in that time?
I just explored New York. We went to New York City. We went to Vermont as well. We actually went to New Jersey as well. we went indoor skydiving, which, by the way, before we went, my host mom was like, Areeba, we're going skydiving. And I was like, wait, no, I'm not allowed. I cannot do that. Like, I remember signing a contract, and that contract explicitly stated that I cannot go skydiving. And she's like, Areeba, it's gonna be all right. And I'm like, no.
And then?
and we got there in New Jersey, and I'm like, okay, where are we gonna skydive? And we went to like an indoor skydiving place.
So did you do it?
I did.
You broke the contract, Areeba.
No, that was not breaking the contract. Just for the record, that was allowed. That was not against the rules.
Cute.
Yeah, that was not against the rules. I did not break any rules.
Yeah. Okay. So then, tell me what like the coolest thing that happened in those 10 months. And also like the scariest thing.
The coolest thing, there were a lot of cool things because my host parents took me everywhere. So they took me to Florida, they took me to South Carolina.
You had nice host parents.
They were lovely.
Are you still in touch?
Yes, I love them.
And you're still in touch with your host sister?
I'm in touch with all of them, with the entire family.
How? Like, do you guys have a WhatsApp group?
No, we just, like, I talk to my host mother on WhatsApp.
Every day?
Not every day, no. Both of us, we don't have time for that, trust. Yeah, I mean, what was the question I forgot?
Coolest thing.
Yes, what was the coolest thing that I did? Other than this road trip that my host mother took me to, she took me to Nashville, and then from Nashville, we went to Niagara Falls, and then, funnily enough, so you know the American side of the Niagara Falls, and there's this bridge that you can cross and go to Canada, and my host mother just couldn't believe that I cannot cross that bridge. I was like, dude, I cannot cross that bridge. I don't have a visa. I need a visa for that. She was like, Areeba, no, you don't. I was like, yes, I do. I cannot do that. And she was like, okay, let me go check. And that woman actually went to the Canadian side.
To check?
Yes. She asked the border police. She was like, okay, so I have this exchange student of mine, and she's from Pakistan. Do you think she can cross this bridge? And they were like, no. And so that was insane. So you know, I did a lot of cool stuff. The scariest thing that I did, and I'm really glad that my host mother pushed me to do it, was that I learned to swim.
Really? You didn't know how to swim?
I didn't know how to swim. And that was a surprise to my host parents because they assumed that I know how to swim. So, but before school started, we went to this lake, and she was like, Areeba, why aren't you getting in the water? And I was like, because I can't swim. And she was like, what? Because apparently my host mother was a really, really good swimmer, and she couldn't believe that I couldn't swim. So that's when she realized that we're gonna make Areeba learn to swim, and she did. She set me up. I was signed up for lessons at the Y, and I took lessons weekly. And my lovely instructor was so patient with me, and she taught me how to swim. Now
That's so cool. So you know how to swim now?
Yes, I won't drown anymore.
Wow.
I'm not the best swimmer. I'm just like I can survive.
Wow. So Areeba, the Areeba who went to the US and the Areeba who came back 10 months later, what was the difference?
I think I became, you know, other than the fact that, you know, there was, now I do have a global outlook. Now I look at things from a very different perspective. Now I understand things from the other person's perspective, not just from my own limited one. Other than that, I think what I've learned is, number one, that I've become a much more confident person. Not just in the sense, okay, I can just walk into a room and like be like, hey, this is Areeba. No, other than, it's not just that, it's also the fact that, you know, I'm confident being silent as well. Like, you don't always have to be the loudest person in the room. You just have to pitch in sometimes if you have ideas and you think they're valuable, then do it. You don't have to be the loudest person in the room to be perceived as the most confident. And in that way, I think I also realized that I don't need to care about what the other people think of me, like the perception that they have of me, because the perception that now I do have of myself, that's enough for me. So it's that self-confidence. It's knowing that I am enough, that I can achieve great things. I think that was my biggest takeaway from Yes, and I will forever be grateful to the program, to the organizers, and especially to my host family, because obviously without my host family, nothing would have been possible.
Yeah, so cool. Okay, so Areeba, when you came back, then you did other fantastic things for a DG Khan girl. You decided to move to Lahore and live alone?
Mm-hmm.
Wow, so tell me about that. Like, how did you convince your parents? It's one thing to live with the host family in the US, it's completely another thing to live alone in Pakistan.
I know. I mean, I don't live alone. I live with my friends.
I mean, yeah, but like, you know what I mean.
Yeah. So
You live with roommates, right?
I live with roommates, yes. So I think it's a pretty cool situation to be in, but like it has its.
But like
pros
you
and
use
cons.
InDrive, like
Yes,
you're not like the average Lahori girl.
Oh my God, yes, I am actually. I should be named the #1 InDrive the customer actually. I use InDrive to get everywhere. I love InDrive. Like at this point, they should actually give me some discount. How much?
InDrive, are you listening? First, we wanted Donald Trump to listen. Now, InDrive, Areeba needs a discount code.
Yes,
Areeba
please.
Suleman,
Yes,
1.
please give me a discount. I need it. Yes, so I mean, if InDrive wouldn't exist, I don't think I'd have the mobility or the freedom that I have without InDrive, and please give me a discount. Other than that, obviously there's Food Panda as well. I don't know how to cook. My roommate does. I don't know. I actually.
You don't know how to cook at all.
I don't know how to.
So who cooks?
So the thing is, I don't know how to turn on a stove because I'm really scared of the fire, right?
Wow, Areeba, you can go to the US
Yes,
alone.
I
You
know.
can learn how to swim. You can do
I
indoor
know.
skydiving. I'm scared of turning on a stove. I think it's a case of not wanting to turn on a stove.
I mean,
No judgment.
I mean,
It's
at this
okay.
point, it's also something that like I just like about myself. Like, hey, I can do all that stuff.
I can't turn on a stove.
I'm so sorry, I can't do that. But like, I can make noodles. I think I'd make pretty cool noodles. My host
Oh,
parents
wow.
loved
Noodles,
my
like instant noodles?
Yes,
Oh, wow, Areeba,
Yes.
that requires some precision.
I know. Yeah, yeah. So I mean, living alone as a teenager in Lahore.
Must be way more scary than living as an exchange student in the US.
Yes, but like to be very honest, I'm so happy. Alhamdulillah. कि अभी तक कोई खतरनाक चीज़ नहीं हुई.
Touch wood.
Alhamdulillah. But like obviously, obviously you have to do everything on your own. That's not fun. But it's the independence that like makes you feel as though you're actually doing something in your life.
Yeah.
Like, I'm actually doing something with my life. Like I'm managing all of this on my own. I'm getting to this point. I'm getting to, I got here on InDrive, right? So all of that, I think it's helping me grow as an individual, and it's also helping me be more self-reliant and understand that I don't need other people when I can just do stuff myself. And school's great. I love school. I love my school. Life is good, alhamdulillah, and I'm really happy with
But
life.
where do you get the guts to do all this? Apply to a school in Lahore, move here alone, and then you've also done a lot of other programs like Seeds of Peace UK.
Yeah.
I think you've applied to a lot of other international fellowships, done a few of them. How many countries have you traveled so far? How many international trips?
I think I recently came back from the US. I went there for this other program, the Seeds of Peace one. And then I think I've only been to the US and the UK, and that too was because of certain things that I had to get done, not because I wanted to travel. And at this point, I started to not love flights. I hate flights. I realized I hate traveling in a way as well. I don't hate traveling in the sense that I don't love exploring. I love exploring. It's just the flight is too much for me. It's very tiring. Unless if you have internet, then it's cool.
Areeba, you're cute. Okay, so Areeba, tell me, big dreams. Now you've done all this traveling. This little girl from Dera, Ghazi Khan, has become independent, confident, dreams big things. What's next?
That's a very good question.
I ask good questions.
Yeah, you asked me good questions. That's a very heavy question because, like, I have a lot of aspirations. There's a lot that I want to do. I want to major in international relations because of everything that I've learned, and because I truly believe that, you know, it is through diplomacy and cultural exchange that we can actually change the world for better. And I think at the point in history where we are right now, I truly believe that diplomacy and cultural exchange really, really are needed. So that's what I want to work on. Other than that, you know, that's pretty much it. I want to give back. I want to give back not just to Pakistan, but also particularly to Dera Ghazi Khan, because I wouldn't exist without Dera Ghazi Khan. Dera Ghazi Khan is who I am, and I'm really, really proud of my heritage. And, you know, it's the conversations that I've had with my teachers, with my parents, with my relatives, the people that I grew up within Dera Ghazi Khan that have embedded in me the values that I hold today, that I hold very dearly to my heart, and they have shaped me into the person that I am today. And my dream is, other than all of that, you know, everything that I stated, other than, you know, community service and everything, I want to work for children's rights, because that is something that I truly, truly believe in. I want to be an advocate for that. I also want to, you know, so I have She Rise Pakistan. I don't know if I talked about this, but She Rise Pakistan is my youth-led community organization based in the Dera Ghazi Khan district, and we have a team of 25 really, really passionate young women who really just want to give back. And She Rise Pakistan is sort of that platform through which we are sort of helping these girls amplify the fact that they want to work, you know, give back to the community. And we've done a lot of stuff. We have raised more than 1 lakh rupees with that. We have also, we have had a summer camp, which is something that I replicated from the US, which is, I learned things from the US. I was a student mentor over there to elementary schools, school students, and then, you know, I came back and I replicated all of that here in Dera Ghazi Khan. So that was amazing. That was a success. We are also going to do that with a twist in the future. We have also had a lot of awareness sessions. We have actually equipped a really big school, like 4,000 students. We have equipped that school with a fully working first aid system as well, which was very, very needed. We have also done sanitary pad drives, and, you know, there's a lot of
Great
stuff.
Yeah,
Great stuff.
And Areeba, tell me, now when you look at other girls in Dera Ghazi Khan or Mandi Paldeen or, you know, other areas where opportunities are limited, would you recommend that every girl try and explore insane, impossible dreams like the Yes alumni?
Yes, why not?
What does it give a girl who's had no exposure, all this exposure? What does it give you?
It gives you everything that I think a girl needs. It gives a girl that sense of self-reliance, that independence, that realization that you don't really need someone else to tell you what you need to do. Maybe you can make those decisions on your own. Obviously, you need other people's opinion on that, but at the end of the day, the main decision, the power to make that decision is in your hands, and you need to realize that. And we also need to understand that just because the society is telling us that we cannot achieve something does not mean that they're right. They're not. Most of the time they're not. Trust me, they're not. Because of the stuff, you know, that I've seen, not just myself. I have barely achieved something. I've seen other girls who have done so much, and it started off with people telling them that you know, that's impossible, they cannot do it. So channel that frustration that you're getting from other people telling you that you cannot do something big, and channel that towards doing something big. Did I make sense with that? Yeah, I was going somewhere with that.
You made a lot of sense. Great. So Areeba, what would you say to, you know, younger girls at Dera Ghazi Khan who's studying at TPS, what would your like 3 pieces of advice to them be?
Okay, I'm gonna take a bit to think about this because this is important. Number 1, learn to send an email.
Great advice.
Yes, please do. Because like you would think that, having an email is something that everyone does have, like everyone has an email. No, everyone does not have an email. I think it's a very privileged way to look at things. A lot of girls especially do not even know how to write an email, and I think that restricts them a lot. So that's one thing that you need to have. You need to have your own email, not your brother's. It should
Yes.
not be in your father's name. It has to be in your name, please. It's
Very
your
important.
email. Have an email. With that, learn to do little things on your own, and things that you think are not that necessary, right? Like commuting, the in-drive thing. Commuting on your own. Obviously, I know in Dera we do not have in-drive, but like rickshaw le lo, please do something. Like take that trip. Sometimes just do little challenges every day that you think, things that you do not think that girls do on a daily basis, because like girls in Dera because this is what I was used to, and this was referred to as princess treatment. Please don't fall for that. It's only making you, I wouldn't say weak, it's making you incompetent in a way as well. Like, you can do this stuff. You don't need someone else to do it for you. Please do it yourself. And then lastly, I would say, just work hard. Yeah, I know it's very generic advice, but like, a lot of us, we do dream. I think all of us dream. All people are dreamers. I know I am. So dream, but with that, please do put in the work. And don't overburden yourself. Dream, but with that, put in the work that needs to be put in for that dream to become reality. And I know that's very cliche, but it's worth it, trust me.
That's so nice, Areeba.
Thank you.
Great advice. What is the one thing you would say to your, like let's say the Areeba, you're now 18?
Yes.
What would you say to 10-year-old Areeba?
I would tell her to stop. So what I used to do was I used to compare myself to my seniors a lot. So if I was I was 10 years old, and I would look up to a 15-year-old and I'd be like, oh my God, she's so cool. She talks with so much clarity. She's so good at her studies, and she's like such a leader and everything. I'm not like that. And I used to think that way. And now I'm like, dude, you're 10 years old. You'll get there. You'll get there, Areeba. You'll always get there. Do not compare your current self to someone else who is older than you, who is, at a different stage in their life, who have had experiences that you eventually will have as well, and you will learn from those experiences as well. So believe in yourself. Do not worry too much.
Thank you so much, Areeba. This was fantastic. Thank you for taking our time, and I hope all of you loved talking to Areeba as much as I did. Remember to share, like, comment, send us your questions, and maybe we can ask her about more great international opportunities that she's been able to explore as a girl from DG Khan. Keep watching.